anybody has a question.
Sadhguru, when you said inclusiveness with the wealth being an individual, how that can be brought into the society? Is that any process to that, or is people to have to aspire to that?
I did not say wealth… inclusiveness into wealth making. I said the very nature of things, if your experience of life is not limited to your physicality, you're naturally inclusive. If your identity is limited to your physicality, you cannot think beyond the boundaries of your own body. So they got you married, not just to breed, so that you think beyond one body, at least two bodies. You're able to think of at least two bodies, this body and one more body. Once you do two-body business, it'll become four bodies. So this is not about just breeding. This is about, if you are aware, this is about seeing that your ability to look at life, your ability to see what is me as beyond this body. So for this, you do not have to go about doing body business with the rest of the world. So once you are able to see, you are able to look at one more human being as a part of yourself. It's just a question of simple arithmetic, you can definitely do one more. If you can do one more, you can do one more. So you can either go one at a time at 7 billion people, or if you have the necessary intelligence, you can go at once. So the moment you go at once, then body becomes insignificant. It's just about taking care of this, it doesn't take much to take care of this. You don't have to do all this business to take care of this body. If you just walk in the forest, you can feed this body, you know. You don't have to build a stock exchange to take care of this body. You can just pick something off the forest and make this body. And that will become very obvious to any human being who begins to feel life beyond himself. So consciousness just means that your experience of life is not limited to physicality. When we say spirituality, that's all it means, to take the experience of your life beyond your physical process. Once you take it beyond your physical process, boundaries don't mean anything. It is only in physical world you need boundaries. This is me, that is you, is only for the physical boundaries. This is my house, this is your house, this is my country, this is your country, is only a physical boundary to maintain certain physical integrity of things. And that is not the essence of being human. A human being is capable of looking beyond his physical boundaries, because if you limit yourself to physical boundaries, your whole life will go dedicated to self-preservation and procreation and nothing else. So when you start thinking of wealth, wealth itself is beyond your physical boundaries, isn't it? You buy this building and you think it's mine, and you start feeling for this place. This is beyond your physical boundaries, but unfortunately you keep on setting up new boundaries. So once you understand wealth making itself is stretching beyond your physical boundaries, and there is no limit. Once you transcend the boundaries of your body, there is really no limit, you don't have to set any limit for yourself. So, if you understand and if you see, if you have the necessary intelligence to see, wealth is not about yourself, wealth is about stretching yourself beyond your limits, then wealth is not a problem. If you think wealth is a new way of fixing your boundaries, if you have the simple carnivorous instinct, you know, a dog goes about peeing all over the place to fix its boundary all the time. If that is how you're looking at wealth, then it becomes a problem, it stinks. But if you see wealth is an opportunity to stretch yourself beyond your limitations, then wealth is not a problem at all. It definitely will lead to well-being. So this will not happen by bringing policy decisions. Policy decisions will only talk about sharing forcefully. Forceful sharing will lead to pain. Forceful sharing will lead to crime, all kinds. Only conscious sharing will lead to a beautiful life, isn't it? Whatever is your wealth, you're willing to share with anybody that whom you think is yours, right? So if what is yours is not fixed, if everything around you, you see it as yours, then sharing is not something that somebody has to teach to you. You'll anyway do it. So, a certain spiritual element has to enter once your capabilities have risen to a certain point. When you say you are generating wealth, that means your capabilities have risen to a certain point which is beyond your survival. Once your life has shifted beyond the survival mode, it is very important a spiritual element enters your life. But there's a whole lot of confusion about this, because the moment we say spiritual, people are asking, okay, shall I go to the temple, mosque or church? No. By going to temple, mosque, church or heaven, you don't become spiritual. You become spiritual only by turning inward, only by knowing the nature of who you are, by tasting something beyond physicality within yourself. Once something beyond physical has become… there is a taste of that in your mouth, then setting boundaries is not possible. Wherever you look, it all looks the same. When you're in that level of consciousness, this is not something I'm talking at the end of your life you'll achieve. This moment you can get there. It is just that we have not bred that culture into our social life. We have not woven that into our education systems. We have not brought this as a part of our living. So every time you do something, it only creates new boundaries. So wealth making has become disastrous for a lot of people. It need not be so, because moving from poverty to affluence is a very hard journey, whether it's for an individual or a society or a nation. But after you get there, most people only get sick, not well. Most societies get sick after becoming affluent. That's a misfortune. It takes so much effort to reach there and then you get sick. What's the point? So it's very important that both aspects are taken care of right from the beginning. At least you're able to enjoy your wealth. That will only happen if there is a certain dimension within you which is beyond your physicality. If you're still seeing wealth as only survival, you'll only suffer. You're raising the bar for your survival from 2 square meals to a Bentley.